Hello! Balatro is a game where across 8 antes with up to 3 blinds each, you build your wealth, modify your deck, and assemble a variety of jokers in order to get the highest score possible with a combination of chips and mult. But would it be possible to beat Balatro only playing the necessary blinds, the boss blinds? Furthermore, could it be done in the hardest difficulty? To do this, I had to choose what deck I would play, and the one that seemed the most reasonable was the Anaglyph deck. This one gives you a token that will double your reward you get when you skip a blind, and as we will be skipping almost every blind in each run, it would maximize the resources that we have available. In my first run, I got some extra money and opened a tarot pack, allowing me to thin out my deck a bit and get another card to thin it out further in the future. Then, thanks to finding 2 different flushes, I was able to meet the chip minimum in the first boss blind. When I reached the shop, I opened up a perfume pack and found a rare joker that would allow me to get a lot of mult if I was able to get 16 enhanced cards in time. Then I got 2 more jokers that would hopefully hold me out until I was able to get that rare joker activated and skip my next 2 blinds in order to go into the second boss blind. I was able to beat this blind in a single hand thanks to the jokers I had picked up. I was once again at the shop and decided to open up a card pack in order to get my joker activated quicker. I then proceeded to skip my 2 blinds and went into the wall boss blind. One of the hardest ones as it greatly increases the chip minimum I would have to meet, and with having a setup of jokers that requires an activation time, I was not there yet and would have a difficult time reaching the chip minimum. And sadly, as can be expected, I did not make it. After a quick reset and a failed run, I was able to start a new one where I could beat the first 3 boss blinds, found myself going into debt, and failed out of the run. My bad luck wouldn't end there, as I kept on failing runs over and over and over and over, until I started getting some traction. But here's where I fell into a trap. In this run, I was able to get the spare trousers joker that could build up into being an amazing one, as well as the popcorn joker, giving me a good set of potential in order to make it all the way to the end. But I fell short due to being unable to build up the spare trousers joker enough. Following this run, I had another one where I found an amazing card that, if built up properly, could be the main joker carrying me to the end, but I fell short before being able to build it up to that point. Then I found the wee joker once again, giving me the potential to build it up for an amazing run. And I even found a rare vagabond joker that had polychrome on it, allowing me to potentially fix my deck and have it all be 2s, boosting the wee joker even more. But, as expected, I struck out before I could build it up. I took a step back from the wee jokers and found another run with potential, where I took the spare trousers joker and some other ones that could hold me out until I was able to build it up. But they weren't enough, and I struck out once again. Here's when I started to realize that I was approaching it incorrectly. I was picking up jokers that would be amazing and are amazing in the regular game, but with this sort of challenge run, I didn't have a chance to build them up to their potential, making them basically useless. With this new knowledge, I found a few jokers that could give me mult immediately, and they would be extremely useful, potentially taking me to the end. Sadly, an unlucky draw of being unable to get my flat mult going, once again stomping me out when I thought I had a good run. In my next run, I switched it up a bit. I played more into the money, became a rich man, and got a joker that was perfect for it. It would give me more multiplier the more money I had. Sadly, it was the only good joker I had, and it alone could not carry me, so I once again got stomped out and failed out the run. Now at this point, I've been playing for a few hours, and I've had enough. I had way too many runs that got stomped out way too early. I gotta fix my strategy in order to get further. This is when my next few runs had extraordinary potential. I quickly passed the first boss blind and I was able to find a good couple jokers, and then, thanks to Spectral Pack, a large part of my deck was all kings. This had potential. My jokers pushed me past the second boss blind, and I found a card that synergized perfectly with all the kings I had in my deck. I did have to be careful that it would expire right before the last round, but it will carry me out and I could be able to build up a better synergy before then. I blasted past the next boss blind and then switched up the jokers in my deck in order to build a stronger synergy. I shredded the fourth boss blind and continued to refine my jokers until it was at a point where it might have been unstoppable. This could take me all the way to the end. I shredded the next boss blind, got a greater multiplier, and then beat the next boss blind as well, with no issue at all. Once I was at the shop, I readjusted a lot of my jokers, sold some, bought some, and then ended up with a strategy to skip the first small blind, and then sell a joker that would give me another double tag before the big blind, allowing me to get greater money, increasing the amount of chips thanks to a joker that I had. Here is where I was faced with the wall once again. The great amount of chips I had to meet was difficult. The first hand didn't take me far, neither the second nor the third. And then, once I played the fourth one, I knew. I had struck out, when I was so close to the finish line. The worst part was that when I reflected back on the previous shop, I had an opportunity. There was a voucher in the shop that would have allowed me to re-roll the boss blind. And it only would have cost $10. I had money to spare. If I had analyzed the situation properly and played my cards right, I would have won the challenge right here. But I had to keep going, and I would keep going. After beating the first boss blind, I found myself with an amazing rare joker, the blueprint, and it had an additional multiplier attached onto it for free. The blueprint would basically make it so that my strongest joker that I could find would be doubled, making it so I have two amazing jokers. But it was reliant on me finding a second joker that would synergize with it. I found a pretty mid joker, but it carried me across the next boss blind. Then I found a couple more mid jokers, which continued to carry me across the boss lines, but I still hadn't found this perfect joker that would synergize with the blueprint, creating an unstoppable set of jokers. This is where I started to switch up my hand. I found some jokers that would give me a straight up multiplier, which would be doubled with the blueprint. It was an amazing synergy. Sadly, the Constellation joker seemed to need some build up. But I have learned this lesson before. Even though I do think it does not work well, I just need to pour all my resources into it and I could build it up even with the limited rounds available to me. I continued to reshuffle the jokers that I had and then ended up with a combination that relied on having a lot of money and to having a little bit of build up in order to have an unstoppable force. Now, would I be able to hold out long enough in order to build up to that point? The answer is no. I failed to run right after. But I did have 2 runs with potential, the first one more than the second. And now if I got myself back on my feet with everything I've learned, there's no way I would keep losing for much longer. So I straddled myself back in and went into another run. It started off good. I had the potential to get $25 after beating the boss blind and a polychrome. Plus, it was quite easy to surpass it as I got a flush right at the end, and we were headed off to the shop. In the shop I didn't get the best card, but it worked. It gave me additional molds. And after that I was able to cash in my polychrome joker. It was based around straights, which are a hard hand to build, but a 1.5 multiplier is a 1.5 multiplier. This is where the tag that I could build my run around came up. There are certain tags that upgrade a hand by 3 levels, and thanks to my deck, I would get the first tag in the round twice. And the first one was a 2-pair, meaning that my 2-pair hands would be upgraded all the way to level 7, making it so I had to base my whole situation around 2 pairs, as it was the strongest hand I could play and could be my winning hand. I used the tarot pack to get another joker, and then went into the boss blind, which was annihilated thanks to my level 7 2-pair hand, allowing me to reach a chip minimum just in time. After a bit of buying and selling of different jokers as different ones came up, I got another synergy, which is not that good, but I should be fine for the foreseeable future thanks to my level 7 2-pair hand. And here, I found another amazing tag, one that would give me a free negative joker next round, and doubled it would be 2 free negative jokers, which can only be a good thing. The more jokers the better. I annihilated the boss line once again and proceeded onto the shop, where I was blessed with various adjusted jokers. 2 negatives, 1 polychrome. I added them all to my assembly of jokers and sold one back for the money, and then rolled again to find a joker that would give me a straight up multiplier if I had all clubs and spades in my hand. Pretty good, especially since I had been converting some cards into clubs. Following this, I got a free double tag, which would make my big blind tag even more powerful, and it was another negative joker tag, which would give me so many more negative jokers. My hand will be stacked as long as I was able to beat the boss blind. Gladly, thanks to all the jokers I had acquired, beating the boss blind was a breeze, and I was able to go onto the shop and grab all the new jokers, adjusting my synergy in order to create the most powerful one possible. I got some free future polychrome jokers, got an upgrade to my high card hand, and went on to the boss blind. And funnily enough, I won the boss line with that upgraded high card hand. I returned to the shop to get my free jokers, got some money from a tarot card, got some money from a spectral pack, and then I found the most game-changing set of jokers. The throwback joker was perfect for this challenge. It increased the multiplier it gave you for every blind you skipped, and as I was skipping every blind possible, it was extremely powerful at this point. Furthermore, the other ones would give me flat mold, increasing the power of that multiplier. You can watch a bit as I reasoned what to do. I think this is just better than this. I think I replaced these two for this one. I think I replaced all three, honestly. I don't think I need any more chips because of this. I don't think I need this. And I think the multiplier is honestly better. And I don't think I need... I think that's just better. Okay, so... After a little bit of deliberation, I sold a few jokers in my hand to make some space. I had a dream synergy, one that could take me all the way to the finish line. I skipped my 2 blinds and shredded the boss blind in one hand thanks to my joker synergy. Then, the shop didn't really have anything remarkable and I went on to the next round. I got a free potential polychrome joker for the next shop, and then doubled my $0 into $0. This pushed me onto entering the boss blind for the 7th ante. Gladly, it was a breeze once again, even if it did put me into debt. This is when I reached the final shop. I was here once again, being so close a few runs prior. I was here once again and could finish out the challenge. And you can see I was pretty nervous. Honestly, I'm nervous. Because last time I had a run this good, well, it kinda got cooked. But, now, here, I want to analyze everything possible. I would not let a mistake happen like last time. I would not let something slip my mind. Here, I was faced with a card that if I bought it and sold it during the boss blind, it would negate any effect, meaning they would make the boss blind a million times easier. But after some analysis, even though I did not think the boss blind was the hardest, I decided to buy it, just to be safe. I skipped the small blind for a free voucher next shop, kinda useless, and then got a free buffoon pack, which gave me a better version of a joker I had. Pretty good! And then I went into the final boss blind. If I was able to overcome this, the challenge would be over. Let's see how it plays out. And we're free from the curse. And we need 2 pair. I think I'm gonna do this partly to get rid of a lot of the cards, to potentially bring a better 2 pair. And doing that, it still gave us half. Honestly, I'm feeling good. 2, 2, 2, 2 is my play. I just want one of those. I still get a whole bunch of multiplier. Okay. It's in the hand, right? It's regarding what's held in hand. So if I play these 2, that's 2 pair. And then there'll be none held in hand. And this could be it. Yes! With that, I was able to beat Gold Stake Balatro, only challenging the boss finds. Bye.